Good afternoon, everybody. I needed to be a minute early because I was a minute late this morning. We need to even it out. We need to even it out. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. You know, Micron earnings this afternoon. The market is giving some stuff back. We got the crew here. Tommy Dimes was first, ladies and gentlemen. In the Streets is here. Star is here. George is here. Chels is in a meeting. Tesla Granny's going to try to change my thinking on Tesla. Parzival is here. What is going on, everybody? What a crazy day. Nas is here. Chiefy is here. Ray is here. I'm Beneficial. Lena, what's going on with AMD, Lena? I don't know. I know what's going on with Uber, though. June is here. Kathy is here. What is going on, everyone? Before we get started, read the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. I just do a lot of research. And you know what? This is for educational and entertainment purposes only, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, let's get to it. We got 30 minutes until the market closes. We have about 45 minutes until Micron earnings come out and an hour to the earnings call. I got some beef we're going to go over. Got some beef, but before we do that, let's check in on the little stock draft we got going on. As of now, Matt is in first place. Tanner is back in second place. Jason is in third place. I am in fourth. Chris is in fifth. And Amit is on a plane and he is in sixth. Anyway, that is the recap from the standings. And my beef is with a little company called Seaport. It has come to my attention that NVIDIA was in focus on Wednesday as Seaport Research reiterated their sell rating on the tech giant, citing growing worries about its balance sheet. We think the growing burden on and off NVIDIA's balance sheet, as well as Broadcom's announcement that it is also joining the circular financing boom, demonstrates that the industry faces mounting financing constraints. Okay. This is ludicrous. Oh, we're going to be worried about NVIDIA's balance sheet. Okay. No Filter Steve is coming out, ladies and gentlemen. No Filter Steve. Okay. So we're going to be worried. Come on. There we go. We're going to be worried about a company that has $53 billion in cash. $53 billion in cash. With $43 billion in long-term investments. Okay. With $7 billion in long-term debt. That's what we're worried about? Really? I mean, this is insanity. Oh, we're worried about NVIDIA's balance sheet. Did they even look at the quarterly profit? They even look at it? $53 billion in Q1 for operating income. $58 billion in net income. Let's just do operating. You put this on a run rate That's $215 billion in a year. That's basically $4 billion a week in operating income. And we're worried about their balance sheet with $7 billion in debt. Huh. Okay. It makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world to me. I don't know why people can't just say, you know what? If I'm going to take a bear case, let's just take a bear case that TPUs are going to impact NVIDIA's GPU moat. I won't bitch and complain about that argument, okay? But when you say that you're worried about the balance sheet, stop it. Just stop it. Insanity. I'm worried that they don't know how to read a balance sheet. Yes, I said it. Whatever. It's crazy talk. It is absolutely crazy talk, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get into what is going on in the market. A lot of us would like it to be different. The NASDAQ is selling off a little bit today, down 163. The NASDAQ 100 is down 254. Lena, I know. I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me. The Dow Jones is up 145. The S&P is down 20. Let's get into individual positions. Tech is bleeding out. Man, I am the worst. TKO Group is up. Amazon 235, SoFi 1739, SpaceX 156. Not a lot of green today. Broadcom 378, Meta 557, NVIDIA 197.34. I did take the opportunity to buy back some NVIDIA call options. I am down to just a few now. Chef Mike, what's going on? Tesla 375. ServiceNow 93.71. Palantir 113. Micron holding strong above 1,000, okay? We are holding strong above 1,000. Reddit's dipping below 160. Qualcomm below 200. And now Qualcomm did make some announcements today. Their first data center CPU launches mid-2028. That's a long time away. Microsoft will deploy Qualcomm's high bandwidth compute chips in Azure. Meta chose Qualcomm as a multi-generation data center CPU supplier. Custom silicon revenue should become meaningful Q1 2027. Here's their roadmap. The AI 250 sampling starts mid-2027. Second-gen high bandwidth compute chip launches 2028. Qualcomm also unveiled Dragonfly C1000. Qualcomm says it has secured 2 major hyperscaler deals, and the company is expanding beyond smartphones into AI infrastructure. We'll see what happens. And of course, new news. Anthropic accuses Alibaba of illicitly accessing AI models. Anthropic makes claim about Alibaba in letter to the U.S. officials. Anthropic letter on Alibaba sent to U.S. senators, White House. Alibaba had no comment. Rachel is here. I'm playing Micron earnings. Scared money don't make money. If there was ever a quote for the stock market, that may be the quote. Scared money don't make money, along with Blue Horseshoe. Just saying. Beck, what's going on? We got a lot of things going on, and I am not happy right now. Tech is selling off, ladies and gentlemen. Uber, I did get the memo about Nancy pumping my bags. I did get the call. I did a bunch of due diligence on Wendy's. I was texting with our buddy Amit. He was at the airport. I got to tell you, got a few things going, but Wendy's, I want to see if it comes down tomorrow. Everything's going down because they don't know what the hell is going to happen with Micron. I mean, on the one day, Micron's trying to come back, but it's not. We were at 1,100 before. We were at 1,100. It's trying to bounce back. It did dip below 1,000. We'll see what happens. Look, I think they're going to crush. We're not going to have to wait too long. We did get some good news, though. I want to play something for you. Microsoft buys 7 GE Vernova turbines for the Texas data center with Chevron. This is huge. Talk about scare money, don't make money. Microsoft said, you know what? Everybody needs to shut the hell up about us spending money. That's what Microsoft just said.
Down to their manufacturing facility in South Carolina, which is the largest gas turbine plant in the world. And that's where we find our Seema Modi. Seema?
And Kelly, you're right. The cost to buy this turbine has risen 300% in the past few years, costing roughly $250 to $300 million, according to analyst estimates. So, yes, price is a big topic of discussion. And Microsoft just bought 7 of these turbines with Chevron to power its Texas data center project. Demand is building, yet AI makes up only 20% of GE Vernova's gas turbine order book. Executives share with us that demand is growing as data center developers are increasingly pushing for their standalone power assets so they can bypass bottlenecks in the grid.
Certainly the grid is a good option for data center power. But sometimes, depending on the speed with which the data center or the hyperscaler, the ultimate consumer of power, needs that energy, it could be a limitation in terms of how much they need in a given area or how long it may take. And ultimately, they're looking at how do they enable more power.
With AI heavyweights from OpenAI, Anthropic, Microsoft, Google investing heavily in energy infrastructure, we're told that executives from Silicon Valley, Kelly, are spending more time at this 400-acre factory where GE Vernova has invested about $116 million to understand the complexities in manufacturing these machines, especially as opposition to data center construction continues to intensify.
I mean, look, we know that Microsoft and Chevron signed a 20-year deal. Microsoft is spending money. The AI revolution keeps on going. We heard from Hock Tan. We heard from OpenAI's president this morning. I do think we have a lot of people. I think we have a lot of people that are worried. A lot of people that are worried that the CapEx is going to dry up, blah, blah, blah. They're grasping at straws. They're grasping at straws. I think that we're in a situation where people just don't know what to think. And it seems like every upcoming earnings report is the one to hang your hat on. Hopefully, this is the last time we have to do this. What's the deal with Bitcoin? You guys really want me to go down that rabbit hole? I don't think you want me to. I'm not a Bitcoin guy, so I don't think you want me going down that rabbit hole. It has no utility. Bitcoin has no utility, guys. I'm sorry, it doesn't. All right. Micron is, we got a big red candle again. Give it to us. Oh, boy. How about this? Bitcoin was started by the CIA. How about that? That's my conspiracy theory. Just saying. Actually, we should run that poll. All right, 87% of us think beat and raise. Let's run this poll. Oh, this is funny. Was Bitcoin started by the CIA? Let's find out what all of you think. Gotta love it. Good old CIA. All right, we're getting another leg down, ladies and gentlemen. Starting to get another leg down. How's good old NVIDIA doing right now? 197.52. This is insane. I guess people don't like making money. We have so many traders in this market. It's crazy. Wow, 45% of you actually agree with me that I was started by the CIA. Hilarious. We're going to get off crypto. We're going to get off of it. Jake Rizzo is here. All is right in the world. Jake Rizzo is here. All right, where is good old SpaceX today? Why does this chart look so weird? SpaceX, here we go. Must be not be enough data. Don't like it. SoFi sold a lot back today. It's okay. I think that SoFi is going to crush earnings. I don't hate this. Gave a lot back today, but that's all right. The most important part is that we can get big wicks up. Amid is crashing the market. Oh, boy. Yup, Pelosi buying Intel and Uber. Long-term thinking, I think that SoFi is in a very interesting place here. I really do. About Palantir. You know, I'm not ready to call a bottom yet. I think it's hard to call a bottom on Palantir. Trying to think of, it feels like Palantir is trading with SAS right now. And it actually doesn't look that expensive on a forward basis anymore. It really doesn't. The market is still in a really good place. And we have, at the end of the day, a lot of companies trading lower. I think this earnings season is going to be great. Okay, Intel-backed AI startup Sambova is reportedly to quintuple its valuation to $10 billion. Interesting. Interesting. I agree. It's Amit's fault. It is Amit's fault. Blame Amit. All right, we got Amazon at 235. Give me a sec. I need some Tums. I don't know. Amazon at 235 seems ridiculous to me. The market does not want to reward good companies. The market does not want to reward good companies. Amazon should have nothing to do with what's going on with chips right now. Yet, it's trading so ridiculous. To think that Amazon has not outperformed the market, it's kind of wild, don't you think? Shorting AK Media, do not do that. AK Media is the future. AK Media is the future. We got 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 10 minutes until the market closes. You're going to get a big bell out of me. And probably about 15, 20 minutes until Micron earnings come out. Oracle's at 157. Holy shit. Man, has this thing turned. Man, has that turned over the past 3 months. Oracle is so cheap right now. I got to tell you. Oracle pays. What's the dividend on Oracle? $2 a share. You're getting 1.2% yield. I think people are very scared about their debt. I mean, Oracle has what, 124 billion in debt on the balance sheet? 122 billion. I mean, it's a lot, but I think the future's bright for Oracle. I really do. I really think the future's bright, ladies and gentlemen. And I think Cactus Jack is among us. Cactus Jack, thank you very much. All right, Salesforce, let's do it. Such a bad chart. I know I'm wrong. You guys can tell me so. I'm wrong. That's okay. Cactus Jack is here. Salesforce is getting absolutely beat up. Everybody thinks SaaS is dead. This is worse than Palantir's chart. I think people are wrong. But you know what? I'm going to have to be proven correctly for them to be proven incorrect. That's all there is to it. And I don't know what it's going to take. We are going to need a flush out at some point. And then you got Wendy's. How many of you got involved in this today? Let's run a poll. Did you trade Wendy's today? Feel like I want a spicy chicken. Problem is I can just go walk to Chick-fil-A. I mean, look at this crazy pop. Complete short squeeze. The fact that this got almost to $9, I'll tell you, the numbers actually look interesting. I'm going to put out some type of post about this or do something. I don't know. I need to really, Chris has not responded. I really need to talk to Chris about this to make sure my head is on straight. $9% of you played it. Okay. All right. 9% of you. What is the bottom for Netflix? I have no idea. This is another really bad chart. There's some really bad charts out there. And I don't think Netflix is ready to finish going down. That's the problem. I don't think that Netflix qualifies as a dog with fleas, but you know what? I don't know that I'd try buying it right here. Yes, I did take it in the stock draft, but I would rather see it get back to 80 or so. Otherwise, I'm not trusting it. I'm not trusting it. And we got Micron in a few minutes. Talk of the town. It's over 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible chart. But you know what? We're making a leg down this week. And on the 1 day, I mean, let's go to 5 minute. Hopefully we bought it. I mean, look, I want to see this at I don't care that Matt took it. I want to see this at 13 or 1400. I really do. I want the AI trade to be vindicated, ladies and gentlemen. Vindicated. Vindicated. It's what I want. Overwhelmingly, the chat has spoken that we think it's going to be a beat and raise. What is this, ramen or steak? It's steak, medium rare. Medium rare steak is what we are doing. No ramen. Medium rare. All right. Micron is trying to get something going heading into the close. I'm ready for the earnings call. I'm excited. Okay, I like it. We're cooking medium rare steaks, rare steaks. I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Look, we've seen companies fall on beat and raises. We have. It's true. But it's very important for the AI revolution that this runs. Don't be scared. No, listen, I'm not a complete savage. No blue steak. I don't get down like that. I do not get down with that. Look, the reason I believe that Micron, I'm doing Micron on my own. I invited Matt and Chris. Matt said he's going to try to come later, and Chris may or may not come. So I'm doing it on my own. I invited them. So that's all there is to it. We're seeing a tremendous amount of CapEx spent. I think we're going to get rates to come down. Oil's coming down. That means the cost of energy is going to come down. All right, hold on. We're cutting over. Hold on.
That is an increase of 33 times, revenue up more than 5 times in just 2 years. And I'm just giving you what the estimates are, not the buy side numbers. The options market is pricing in roughly a 10.5% swing, the biggest in a decade. And Micron is now the most actively traded stock in the market, up nearly, 260% year to date. I know way more in the past 12 months. The fundamentals, though, aren't really in question with their earnings report. Micron just last month told investors that demand is outpacing supply and that tightness in memory should last well beyond this year. So I think the biggest takeaway will be the CapEx number and then any type of long-term agreements that they're signing with new customers. We want to hear that this is not a boom and bust cycle. Scott?
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Christina, thanks. Yeah, revenue number 36 billion. Whisper number for that, 42. Okay, so that sets the stage on what's coming up in a matter of moments. Bryn Talkington, what's riding on this?
First of all, earnings this time last year were $1.91. We're looking for $20.70. It's like almost 1,000%. And so I think the stock's up 700%. This stock actually is just bouncing off the 20-day moving average. I think the stock goes higher. There's like nothing to tell me it's making higher highs, higher lows. There's massive call premium. So if you want to hedge it, you can get some incredible call premium just going out about 3 months.
Gene Munster, who I just cited a moment ago with these whisper numbers, says, quote, my sense is the numbers in guide are great and the stock trades sideways to down. It's just a high whisper, he says. I mean, that's what's facing this. Could be not.
Ladies and gentlemen, the market is closed. I may have got too close to my ear on that one, ladies and gentlemen. I may have got too close to my ear. It's okay. All right. Where do we close out today? The NASDAQ closed out 25,484. The S&P is 73.59. The Dow Jones 51,850. Technology down 0.5%. Energy bled out. This is not what you want to see. When my watch list that is tech heavy. What do you mean? What was that? You want more Bell? Oh my God. You want me to go crazy with the Bell? All right, you got two Bells. Two. All right, when my watch list looks like this, with Realty Income and Altria Group leading the pack, that's not good. That is not good. That means the flight to safety is in full effect. People are being shook babies, the way Matt would say it, shook babies coming out to party. That is what they would say. Okay, we got news. We got a double beat. Oh my God. This is a slaughter. This is a slaughterhouse. If Micron doesn't move, EPS $25.11, 21% beat. Revenue $41 billion. Over $41 billion on a whisper of just under 36. Holy shit. Crazy. This is a slaughterhouse. This is an absolute slaughterhouse. All right, I'm bringing up the chart. Slaughterhouse, ladies and gentlemen. Micron is gapping up. Let's go. It's up 17. It's up 18. Let's go. Let's go. EPS up 1,215% year over year. Revenue up 346% year over year. EPS, oh my God, 106% quarter over quarter. Incredible. Third quarter adjusted gross margin, 84.9% against an estimate, 81.9%. Q3 revenue, incredible. Adjusted EPS, incredible. Oh my God. Micron sees Q4 adjusted revenue, $49 to $51 billion. The estimates were $43.24 billion. Holy shit. Absolute slaughterhouse. Let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. Oh, guidance was off the charts. Off the charts guidance. Off the charts. $49 to $51 billion on guidance. Incredible. Absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's no other words to say except incredible. All right, we're cutting over.
Numbers, it beats the buy side numbers, and it inches just closest to the highest estimates. For revenues for the third quarter, $41.46 billion. Also much higher than what the street consensus was, higher than the buy side consensus. Specifically for the non-GAAP gross margins for the third quarter, coming in at 84.9, so almost 85%. It's incredible to see a chip company at 85%. And then for the Q4 guidance, $31 a share, give or take just a little bit. That's higher than what we're seeing with revenue, Q4 revenue of about $50 billion. Very, very close to the highest estimate on the street. CapEx was the only one that maybe, I guess, caused me to raise my eyebrows for Q3, coming in at $7.1 billion, which was a little bit light than the street estimate of $7.3 billion. What stood out too is the bull thesis for the memory market is these long-term strategic agreements, anywhere between 3 and 5 years. The CEO, Sanjay Mehrotra, sorry, stumbling right now, said, we, quote, believe our multi-year strategic customer agreements will significantly enhance the durability and predictability of Micron's strong financial performance. I bring that up because that is definitely going to be a topic on the call. What are these long-term agreements and who are signing them? Mike?
Absolutely. Yeah. Whether it's still a cycle or not. Big questions. Thank you, Christina. That stock reacting with about a 5% upside. It gets a little bit above the morning's high, which was around 1080 or so. Let's get reaction to those Micron results, what it means for the broader market. Joining me now is Evercore Chief Equity and Quantitative Strategist, Julian Emmanuel. Julian, good to see you.
Great to be here.
The stock has suddenly become kind of the bellwether in terms of, the leading edge of the AI CapEx theme. What does it mean broadly for the markets? I mean, obviously a massive beat, but maybe a lot of that was already in the stock.
Well, there definitely was a decent amount of it in the stock, but if you think about it, again, they beat even the...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this Micron is absolutely running right now. We're up $80. We're up 7.5%, 1132. I'm going to go through all the key points while we watch the chart. Okay. So revenue, $41.46 billion versus $23.86 billion. We had GAAP net income of just over $28 billion. Quote, Micron's record fiscal Q3 financial results and even stronger outlook for Q4 reflect the strategic value of memory in the AI era, says their CEO. Micron is investing at record levels in technology, products, and supply to address our customers' rapidly growing demand. We believe our multi-year strategic customer agreements will significantly enhance the durability and predictability of Micron's strong financial performance. For Q3, oh my God, investments in CapEx, $7.1 billion, and adjusted free cash flow, $18.3 billion. Micron ended the quarter with $30.2 billion in cash. Micron's board declared a dividend. It's very small. Okay, product highlights. HBM4, built on 1-beta DRAM technology, is in high volume shipments. Qualification samples have been shipped to multiple end customers. Qualification samples of 256 gigabyte DDR5 RDIMMs built on 1-gamma DRAM technology have shipped to key server ecosystem enablers. We commenced shipments of our high capacity 245 terabyte QLC. Micron's earnings call is at 4:30. I'm already signed up for it. See if we can get anything else out of this press release. Phenomenal quarter. Phenomenal. Blew the doors right off. We're going higher, ladies and gentlemen. $96. We are going higher. Let's bug the White House quant. We should just all give up. We should all just give up. We should just give the crown to Matt. He deserves to win. He took Micron. And if you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. Thank you. Is he in a meeting or is he not in a meeting? Is he driving around? Is he hanging out? What's he doing? Micron's about to be up more than 10% right now. $104 this thing's up. We got a runner. All right. Red candle forming. Is that going to get bought up? That's the question. Is this red candle going to get bought up? $11.54, $11.55. I'll tell you what. The fact that this is not moving down to $11.20, this has got a lot of strength in it. This has got a lot of strength in it. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to come back to Micron in 30 seconds, okay? Let's see what NVIDIA, Broadcom, and AMD are doing. NVIDIA in extended hours is at 199. It's up a little bit. It definitely pumped up after the Micron earnings came out. How about AMD, Lena's favorite company? AMD's rocking and rolling, 528. Qualcomm's running a little bit. How about Broadcom? Okay, 386. It jumped a little bit, but not a lot. Micron, obviously, when you talk about one of the largest beats. Oh, Lena, what did I do? What did I do? That's not very nice. What did I do? That's right, Livia. MU. Hollis. Look at you trading and trading and trading. Oh, we get a big candle. Big candle. This earnings was a slaughterhouse. I can only hope and pray. that this is the final nail in the Bears' coffin. Okay? Lena, do not put me in timeout, please. I don't want to go to timeout. Timeout's scary. All right. We need this candle to reverse. Somebody needs to start buying here. We need this to reverse. Regardless, look, it is after hours. We have a lot of price action here. Tomorrow, oh my God, I cannot wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be so epic. So epic. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Whoo! All right, we got the earnings call in 17 minutes. We are going to listen to the earnings call, and then I am going to close it out afterwards and discuss. I'm going to put a few things together, and I got to tell you, if it wasn't, think about it. First, we needed Microsoft. Then we needed Alphabet. Then we needed Meta. Then we needed Amazon. Then we needed NVIDIA. Then we needed Broadcom. And now we need a Micron. Every single one of these companies came through for us. Every single one of them. Every one. Every last one of them. And it's getting bought. Rachel is correct. It's getting bought up. They do not want this to come down. It's getting bought up. It is popping. Micron is popping off. Micron is popping off, ladies and gentlemen. if this goes green, holy shit. All right, that's a good comment. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong one. That's not a good comment. Hold on. This one's a good comment. Unlike Steve, MU rang that bell like a champ. MU came in and they said, hold my earnings. Check this out. That's what just happened. Hold my earnings. Check this out. It wants to go past 1150 again. The memory bears in shambles. Oh my God. This is great. All right, we're going to cut over real quick. Earnings call is going to start in a few minutes. Let's hear what they guys say.
The hyper growth phase. Mehdi, hang on just a second. We're going to get more detail from Christina on this report. Christina.
Mike, so I'm just going through the prepared remarks of the CEO posted on the website. And so there's quite a bit in terms of those long-term agreements. They've signed officially 16 of them. The company saying that these SCAs, so the strategic customer agreements, include 4 very large customers and 3 medium-sized customers. Again, this is what the market wanted to hear more details about said agreements. And 14 of those 16 agreements are at least approximately $100 billion over the remaining agreement term. So they can range anywhere between 3 and 5 years. So this gives them revenue visibility into the near term and, kind of breaks that whole boom and bust cycle. In terms of DRAM, they said they expect demand for both DRAM and NAND to remain high by 2027, and that DRAM specifically in 2026 will be growing anywhere between low to mid 20s, which is above their previous range. And then the last part that really stood out to me too is the CapEx. We have this shortage issue across the globe, so we want these memory makers to build. What Micron is sharing is that for fiscal Q4, they're projecting roughly $10 billion in CapEx spending. And then for next year, this is the big number, for 2027, they said that it's going to be more than that quarterly rate. So if we just do 10 times 4, it's at least $40 billion. I did see some estimates at $50 billion, and much of that they're saying is going to go to construction as well as clean room capacity, which is in short supply. Mike?
Excellent. Thank you for the color, Christina. So, Mehdi.
Okay. Guys, this is not a bubble. I'll tell you that right now. Micron is not, they just put the deck out, okay? This is not what you do if this is slowing down. Krupa, MU saving the day. If only I could play the song from Ghostbusters, Saving the Day. Oh my God, that deserves to be played right now. And Lena is so correct. I hope everybody makes money. But in all seriousness, listen, they're not spending this type of money for no reason. They're not. Our data center revenue exceeded $25 billion in Q3, annualized run rate of $100 billion. We expect tight conditions to persist beyond calendar 2027. As a result of AI-driven demand across all segments. We are excited to announce that we have now signed 16 strategic customer agreements, which we expect will fundamentally transform our business model. They just told the bears to shut the fuck up, is what they just did. That's what they did. They told the bears where they can stick it. The memory industry has been structurally transformed by the AI revolution. With respect to supply, our customers are recognizing that supply shortages in memory and storage will take considerable time to improve. Let's see. Oh boy, okay. Make it a little bigger. Typically, these agreements have a 5-year term from calendar 26 through calendar 2030. Let's go. Micron is saving the day. Let's go. Forget about it. The Bears can go hibernate. Let's go. Woo! I got to work on my Ric Flair. I know. "14 of the 16 agreements that we have signed have a cumulative revenue at a minimum price per contracts of approximately $100 billion over the remaining agreement term. So that's $20 billion a year. I mean, this is crazy. This is legitimately crazy. Micron just told the Bears to go fuck themselves. That's what they did. Oh, this is great. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Oh, if it couldn't get any better, Micron comes out with an overhand right tonight. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Automotive and robotics, auto memory and storage content is expected to further increase. Okay, market outlook. We now expect supply-demand conditions for both DRAM and NAND remain tight beyond calendar 2027. We expect industry DRAM bit shipments in calendar 26 to grow in the, oh my God, to grow in the mid 20% range above their outlook. What else can we want? What else can we want? Like, in all seriousness, what else could you want here? I don't even know what to say. This is a party. We got 9 minutes. Let's go to the chart. Micron ain't coming down. It's over 1150, everybody. It's over 1150. And we're getting a wick. We're getting a green wick. Can we go past 160? Can we get there? Let's get there. 1159.78, 1159.68, 1159.57. Can we get over 1159? Can we get to 1160? We got to 1160, everybody. Look at that. 1160, 1163, 1164. Woo! This is rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. The fact that it's breaking out again, oh man. Oh man, the Bears are so mad right now. They're so mad. Where's Burry at? Where's Michael Burry at? Oh, you guys didn't know? You guys didn't know that I can do an auctioneer if I need to? Oh, boy. Oh. What? There is nowhere else that I would rather be than with the Milk Gang watching Micron's chart and about to listen to the earnings call. Oh, man. The Bears go hibernate. Oh. Go hibernate, Bears. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's see what SanDisk is doing. Oh, my God. This is crazy. This is crazy. SanDisk is absolutely running, ladies and gentlemen. If you do agree that this is a legendary stream, please like and subscribe. Oh my God, this is great. I love it. Oh. This is absolutely incredible. Did NVIDIA get past 200 yet? 201.50. Thank God I bought back some of my cover calls. Thank God. NVIDIA went to 197 and I bought back 40% of my cover calls I had out there. So great. Lena, for you, we're going to look at AMD. All right, 534. 534. Let's see where everything is after hours. See where the biggest changes are. Micron 1177. UBA 7397. QXO 1694. Wix 42. Marvell 289. Qualcomm 211. Nokia 14. AMD 535. Broadcom 389. ARM Holdings 374. SoFi 1753. ServiceNow 93. Microsoft 365. Rocket Lab 86. Oil. I don't have it on here. Bitcoin is trying to stay above 60,000. Who cares about that right now? All that matters is that Micron just saved us. Micron just saved the tech trade. 1183. We going higher. Can we get to 1200 before the earnings call starts? Let's go. Let's go. Listen, if they ever called me to do a UFC introduction because Bruce Buffer got sick, got the flu or something, I'll do it for free. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, man. 1193. We may hit it. We may get to 1200 before the earnings call, ladies and gentlemen. That may actually happen. That may actually happen. $11.95. Okay. $11.95. Let's go. Livia, that's right. Jake Rizzo, I would be freaking scared. You're right. Cooper, you're right. We got to get Zuck on the stream. You're right. You're right. You're right. We got to get Zuck on basis points. We're working on it. We are working on it. I would like to talk to Zuck. Talk some sense into him. One of the greatest CEOs. We're holding 1190. We're running. Let's run into it. The call starts in T-minus 3 minutes. T-minus 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is a thing of beauty. This is a thing of beauty. Matt Money picked Micron in the draft. Matt Money picked it. Oh, my God. Milken, thank you so much. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. $11.92. It's okay. It's all right. Oh, God. This is incredible. What a run. What a run. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Micron wants to do it, okay? I think Micron wants to do it. This is going to be so exciting for tomorrow morning. The puts are getting destroyed. Call options are running wild. Micron is trying to get to 1,200. If they announce a split, I agree this is going to go crazy. We want 1,500 tomorrow. Shit. How about 2,000? Why not? Why not? I got to tell you. I can't wait to hear what they say on the earnings call. We got 1 minute. Once the call starts, we'll cut over to the call. And I will be taking notes. This is, oh man, love it. The only way to open tomorrow, and I will be opening the market tomorrow. I'll be on at 8:45 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning for the Milk Gang, because Amit will still be on a plane or sleeping or something. He'll be traveling. NVIDIA better freaking run. All of the chips better run. They better run. All right. We're going to the call, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and welcome to Micron Technology's fiscal third quarter 2026 financial conference call. After today's prepared remarks, we will host a question and answer session. Webcast viewers, please note that you will be able to advance the slides as you view at your own pace. I will now hand the conference over to Satya Kumar, Corporate Vice President of Investor Relations and Treasury. Satya, please go ahead.
Thank you, and welcome to Micron Technology's fiscal third quarter 2026 financial conference call. On the call with me today are Sanjay Mehrotra, our Chairman, President, and CEO, and Mark Murphy, our CFO. Today's call is being webcast from our investor relations site at investors.micron.com, including audio and slides. In addition, the press release detailing our quarterly results has been posted on the website, along with the prepared remarks for this call. Today's discussion contains forward-looking statements that are subject to risks and uncertainties. These forward-looking statements include statements regarding our future financial and operating performance and our business model, as well as trends and expectations in our business, customers, market, industry, products, and regulatory and other matters. These statements are based on our current assumptions, and we assume no obligation to update these statements. Please refer to our most recent financial reports on Form 10-K, Forms 10-Q, and other filings with the SEC for more information on the risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from expectations. Today's discussion of financial results is presented on a non-GAAP financial basis unless otherwise specified. A reconciliation of GAAP to non-GAAP financial measures can be found on our website. I'll now turn the call over to Sanjay.
Thank you, Satya. Micron delivered an exceptional fiscal Q3 with significant records in revenue, gross margin, and EPS, all exceeding the high end of our guidance. Demonstrating Micron's position as a leader enabling the AI era, our data center revenue exceeded $25 billion in fiscal Q3, or an annualized run rate of over $100 billion. Our data center SSD revenue exceeded $5 billion, more than doubling sequentially. DRAM and NAND industry demand continues to significantly exceed industry supply. We expect tight conditions to persist beyond calendar 2027 as a result of AI-driven demand across all segments, coupled with structural supply constraints. We are excited to announce that we have now signed 16 strategic customer agreements, or SCAs, which we expect will fundamentally transform our business model. The memory industry has been structurally transformed by the proliferation of AI. We are only in the early innings of the significant innovation and productivity that can be unleashed in every part of the global economy over time. Data center-driven growth will be increasingly complemented by AI-enabled features in smartphones, high-end PCs, and new consumer devices, as well as in automotive, industrial applications, and robotics. Exciting possibilities enabled by robotics and humanoids, as well as fully autonomous vehicles, portend a robust long-term demand environment for memory and storage. With respect to supply, our customers are recognizing that supply shortages in memory and storage will take considerable time to improve. Even as we expect industry supply to improve gradually in 2028, we currently do not have line of sight as to when memory supply will be able to catch up with increasing demand. Memory industry supply growth is dependent on significant greenfield fab expansions. These greenfield projects are large, complex, and time-consuming. Further, the pace is constrained by several factors, including long lead time for fab construction across the world, shortage of workers with critical trade skills, complex regulations, including permitting, and the need for enhanced energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, memory process technology, which is among the most advanced to develop and manufacture in semiconductors, is getting more complex with every new node. Technology transitions are driving slower bit growth over time. Wafer growth needs are significantly increasing clean room space and greenfield fab requirements, and HBM's growth and increasing trade ratio with every new generation further pressures non-HBM supply. In NAND, industry suppliers redirecting clean room space from NAND to DRAM and overall limited clean room space constrain NAND bit supply growth. These factors taken together mean supply is structurally constrained in its growth and ability to meet industry demand, despite our comprehensive efforts to increase supply. AI systems are powered by GPU, ASIC, and CPU designs from an increasingly broad set of suppliers. However, they all share one important characteristic. AI system performance is architecturally dependent on memory subsystem performance and capacity. This has given rise to more complex memory hierarchy that is providing greater differentiation opportunities for Micron than at any time in our history. It has also elevated the role of memory in the AI world to a strategic asset. Strong long-term demand growth, structurally constrained supply growth, and memory's strategic importance have caused customers to recognize that their product roadmaps rely on access to advanced memory technology and dependable and committed long-term memory supply. Micron has been a pioneer in our industry in creating a new class of strategic customer agreements, or SCAs, with very robust terms. We are pleased to announce that we have completed 16 SCAs with customers across the data center, consumer, and auto market segments. These SCAs accelerate the transformation of our business model, enhance partnership in technology and innovation, and provide customers with contracted supply assurance. Typically, these agreements have a 5-year term from calendar 2026 through the end of calendar 2030. Automotive agreements generally have a 3-year term. The 16 signed agreements represent roughly 20% of our DRAM volume and a third of our NAND volume over this period. These SCAs include 4 very large customers and 3 medium-sized customers. The remaining agreements relate to smaller customers from the automotive industry and represent our commitment to the important sector. When completed, we expect approximately half or more of our company revenue to be under these SCAs with customers across end markets. Our customer value our U.S. supply plans, and this is reflected in our SCAs. These SCAs are structured as take-or-pay agreements with binding commitments to purchase specific volumes over this multi-year term. The largest agreements generally have a ceiling price for existing products at the current CQ2 market price and a floor price through the term of this agreement. Several SCAs, which account for a modest portion of the SCA-related revenue, include either fixed prices or have no price bands associated with them, where pricing will be subject to market conditions. When all planned SCAs are executed, agreements with either fixed prices or price ceilings at or close to current CQ2 market prices are expected to be approximately 40% of our revenue. For SCAs which do contain such price bands, pricing is designed to stay within this floor to ceiling level through the course of the term. This pricing visibility will help our SCA customers across market segments to better manage their business and grow their demand. For our SCAs with price bands, the floor price enables a very robust gross margin for Micron, well above our peak quarterly margins in any past cycle. 14 of the 16 SCAs that we have signed have a cumulative revenue at minimum price per our contracts of approximately $100 billion over the remaining agreement term. They also strengthen our long-term financial performance, margins, and free cash flow expectations with higher visibility and improved stability in our business performance. Under the SCAs we have signed so far, we project to receive cash deposits and related financial commitments of $22 billion. This further demonstrates customer commitment to this new business model. Mark will provide additional details. Our SCAs with customers across data center to consumer devices to auto and industrial applications create a new paradigm for us to strengthen our customer relationships. They provide committed DRAM, including HBM as appropriate, and NAND supply to our customers over a multi-year time horizon. In a period of significant shortage, this supply visibility is extremely beneficial to our customers. The visibility enables our customers to leverage SCA supply to make progress on their strategic plans, drive growth, and enable their end consumers to benefit from their products and services. We are very appreciative of our customers who have worked with us through this period of tight supply with a strong collaborative spirit to create win-win outcomes for the long term for the entire ecosystem and end consumers. AI's insatiable appetite for memory bandwidth and capacity with low latency and low power is driving memory architectural choices, memory product mix shifts, and manufacturing process technology decisions, all of which increase the complexity of memory and storage roadmap for the industry. Micron is building on its technology leadership. Our 1-gamma DRAM node and G9 NAND node are both ramping well and on track to become the highest volume nodes in Micron's history. Development of our next generation DRAM and NAND nodes are also progressing well and are on track to begin volume production in the second half of calendar 2027. We are leveraging our leadership DRAM and NAND nodes across our product portfolio. HBM4 12-high volume ramp is tracking twice as fast as HBM3E 12-high, and we have already shipped over $1 billion in HBM4 revenue. We expect to reach mature yields on HBM4 12-high significantly faster than HBM3E 12-high. Please see our earnings press release for other highlights across our HBM, high-capacity DDR, and LP server DRAM, data center SSD, PC, smartphone, and automotive product portfolios. We expect future memory demand will continue to skew towards higher performance and higher value products whose complexity carries higher cost per bit. Transitions like LP5 to LP6, DDR5 to DDR6, and newer generations of HBM all come with rising bit costs. This trend, along with the ramp of significant greenfield capacity in the years ahead, is projected to cause the blended DRAM cost per bit to rise from current levels. Our customer SCAs provide for appropriate price premiums for such new products to be negotiated in the future. Turning to our end markets, AI is driving unprecedented growth in data centers, with industry data center DRAM and NAND bit shipments in calendar 2026 expected to more than double from 2 years ago. Agentic AI is structurally reshaping data center infrastructure, extending beyond accelerator-only racks to include CPU racks for the agent control plane and program execution, and storage racks for rapidly expanding context store. We now expect calendar 2026 industry server units to grow high teens % above our prior expectations of low double digits, driven by mid-teens growth in traditional servers and even stronger growth in servers with AI accelerators. We estimate that this increase in our server unit growth expectation is enabled by a modest reduction in average server DRAM content growth as customers focus on maximizing unit shipments amid a very tight allocation of memory. In NAND, AI context memory storage and HDD displacement opportunities are expanding the addressable market for SSDs. PC and smartphone industry revenue is expected to grow despite unit volume declines, reflecting resilient demand for high-end devices at higher prices across end device categories. Agentic AI platforms such as OpenClaw and NemoClaw elevate the value of edge devices, enabling improved tokenomics, greater privacy and latency, and more efficient orchestration of AI between the cloud and edge. Over time, we expect the value of on-device AI combined with pent-up unit replacement demand to drive memory demand growth in PCs and smartphones. In automotive, ADAS remains a powerful driver of content growth. L2+ and above vehicles, which feature progressively increasing levels of autonomy, have over 5 times the memory and storage content of an average vehicle. The mix of L2+ and above vehicles is more than doubling this year to over 20% and is expected to exceed 40% by 2030. Average auto memory and storage content is expected to further increase as mix shifts towards.
Milken, you are a GOAT. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. You are incredible. I can't even express the gratitude. Thank you so much.
Physical AI. This creates a growing content-rich opportunity for high bandwidth, low power memory and storage that powers real-time perception, inference, and control. Humanoid robots carry 10 times the amount of memory as an average L2+ vehicle, and we expect a sustained, substantial, multi-decade memory demand cycle to begin in the latter part of this decade. Now turning to our market outlook. We now expect supply-demand conditions for both DRAM and NAND to remain tight beyond calendar 2027. In DRAM, we expect industry DRAM bit shipments in calendar 2026 to grow in the low to mid-20s% range, slightly above our prior outlook. In NAND, we expect industry NAND bit shipments in calendar 2026 to grow approximately 20%, unchanged from prior expectations. We expect Micron DRAM supply to grow approximately in line with the industry supply growth, while Micron NAND supply grows somewhat less than the industry supply growth in calendar 2026. Our SCAs provide enhanced visibility on our long-term demand and provide us greater confidence on our CapEx and R&D investments. We are focused on maximizing output from our fabs, including collaboration with our suppliers to accelerate tool acquisition, fab tool installation and ramp, and tool replacements and upgrades to improve productivity. Recently, we concluded a multi-year EUV supply agreement with ASML, supporting our increased adoption of EUV at the 1 Delta node and future generations. We are also making good progress on expanding our global manufacturing footprint to increase supply over time. This includes our significant investments in U.S. leading-edge DRAM manufacturing with our ID1 and ID2 fabs in Idaho, whose construction is well underway, as well as the first of our New York fab cluster, where we broke ground in January this year. ID1 is on track for first wafer output in mid-calendar 2027 and ID2 in late calendar 2028. We recently launched first production starts of our 1-alpha DDR4 technology in our Manassas, Virginia fab, which will add to our capability to support the legacy product needs of our customers in auto, industrial, medical, aerospace, and defense markets. In our newly acquired Tongluo site in Taiwan, we expect to support meaningful product shipments from the existing 300,000 square feet fab in mid-calendar 2027, about a quarter earlier than our prior expectations. Adding to the existing fab, we have begun construction of a similar size second clean room at this site. This clean room will support EUV equipment. Our construction activities and timelines are on track for our other facilities in Japan and Singapore. Complementing our advanced packaging capabilities in Taiwan, our Singapore site will become another center of excellence for advanced packaging. We expect this facility will contribute meaningfully to Micron's HVM packaging capacity beginning in the first half of calendar year 2027. As we make these investments, we will remain disciplined in our approach and will be responsive to the market environment to appropriately align our supply plans. I will now turn it over to Mark for our fiscal Q3 financial results and outlook.
Thank you, Sanjay, and good afternoon, everyone. Micron delivered exceptional fiscal Q3 results with revenue, gross margin, and EPS exceeding the high end of our guidance. Our results and today's outlook underscore the increasing value of memory in the AI era and the structural strength of our business. As mentioned, we have entered into 16 strategic customer agreements. For SCAs with defined price, either fixed or subject to floor and ceiling pricing, in accordance with the revenue accounting standard, we are disclosing remaining performance obligations, RPO, starting this May quarter. RPO at the end of fiscal Q3 was over $5 billion. For the SCAs that we have entered into so far, including ones executed after the end of fiscal Q3, RPO is approximately $100 billion. RPO is determined based on minimum committed volumes and minimum pricing and reflects inherently conservative estimates. RPO is not indicative of the total revenue we expect to recognize in future periods. As such, we expect revenue to well exceed associated RPOs over the term of the agreements. As Sanjay mentioned, we project to receive cash deposits and related financial commitments of $22 billion under the SCAs we have signed so far. The overwhelming majority of these commitments, approximately $18 billion, will be in the form of cash deposits. When all targeted SCAs are completed, we expect to have substantially higher levels of SCA customer deposits and related commitments. These customer deposits will show up on our balance sheet more in fiscal Q4. The cash flows associated with customer deposits appear in financing-related cash flows and will not affect our free cash flow. This cash will be returned to customers over time towards the latter half of the agreement term. We are excited with our progress in signing these SCAs, which will strengthen our long-term financial performance and drive enduring, robust ROI for the company over time. Total fiscal Q3 revenue was $41.5 billion, up 74% sequentially and up 346% year over year, representing our fifth consecutive quarterly revenue record. The $17.6 billion sequential increase is the largest in our history, eclipsing last quarter's $10.2 billion record. Fiscal Q3 DRAM revenue was a record $31.3 billion, up 343% year over year, and represented 76% of total revenue. Sequentially, DRAM revenue increased 67%. Bit shipments were up low single-digit percentage range. Prices increased in the low 60s percentage range, driven by tight industry conditions and favorable mix. Fiscal Q3 NAND revenue was a record $9.9 billion, up 361% year over year, and represented 24% of total revenue. Sequentially, NAND revenue increased 99%. Bit shipments increased in the mid-single-digit percentage range. Prices increased in the mid-80s percentage range, driven by tight NAND industry conditions and a favorable mix. The consolidated gross margin for fiscal Q3 was 84.9%, up 10 percentage points sequentially. This improvement was driven primarily by higher pricing and also benefited from continuing strong execution and favorable mix. Fiscal Q3 gross margin more than doubled from a year ago and was a new company record. Now, turning to quarterly financial performance by business unit. Cloud Memory Business Unit revenue was a record $13.8 billion and represented 33% of total company revenue. CMBU revenue was up 78% sequentially, driven by higher pricing and bit shipments. CMBU gross margins were 83%, up 9 percentage points sequentially, driven by higher pricing. Core Data Center Business Unit revenue was a record $11.5 billion and represented 28% of total company revenue. CDBU revenue was up 103% sequentially, driven by higher pricing and a favorable mix. CDBU gross margins were 87%, up 12 percentage points sequentially, driven by higher pricing. Mobile and Client Business Unit revenue was a record $11.5 billion and represented 28% of total company revenue. MCBU revenue was up 49% sequentially, driven by higher pricing, partially offset by lower bit shipments. MCBU gross margins were 87%, up 9 percentage points sequentially, driven primarily by higher pricing and helped by favorable mix. Automotive and Embedded Business Unit revenue was a record $4.6 billion and represented 11% of total company revenue. AEBU revenue was up 71% sequentially, driven by higher pricing and higher bit shipments. ABU gross margins were 79%, up 11 percentage points sequentially, driven by higher pricing and favorable mix. Operating expenses in fiscal Q3 were $1.5 billion, up $97 million quarter over quarter. The sequential increase was due to higher variable compensation expense from the strong performance of the business. We generated operating income of $33.7 billion in fiscal Q3, resulting in an operating margin of 81.2%, up 12 percentage points sequentially and 54 percentage points year over year. Fiscal Q3 taxes were $5.1 billion on an effective tax rate of 14.9%. Non-GAAP diluted earnings per share in fiscal Q3 was $25.11, up 106% sequentially. Turning to cash flow and capital expenditures, in fiscal Q3, operating cash flows were $25.4 billion. Capital expenditures were $7.1 billion, resulting in free cash flow of $18.3 billion. Fiscal Q3 free cash flow was a quarterly record for the company. Ending inventory for fiscal Q3 was $8.6 billion, with days of inventory at 120. DRAM inventories are very tight and below 120 days. We reached record levels of cash and investments of $30.2 billion at quarter end. During fiscal Q3, we reduced debt by $4.4 billion, including a cash tender offer that reduced senior notes by $4.3 billion. The weighted average maturity on our outstanding debt is April 2035. We closed the quarter with $5.7 billion of debt and a net cash balance of $24.4 billion. This fiscal year, we received upgrades from all three major credit rating agencies, including an upgrade to BBB+ on the strength of our technology and product position, financial outlook, and strong balance sheet. Our balance sheet has never been stronger, and we project it to strengthen further even as we increase investment in technology and needed capacity. Now turning to guidance. We expect fiscal Q4 revenue to be a record $50 billion, plus or minus $1 billion. Gross margin to be approximately 86%, and operating expenses to be approximately $1.65 billion. Based on a share count of approximately 1.15 billion shares, we expect EPS to be a record $31 per share, plus or minus $1. Our fiscal Q4 gross margin outlook reflects a meaningful moderation in the rate of price increases. We project operating expenses to increase by approximately $1 billion in fiscal 2027 as we expand R&D to support an unprecedented set of opportunities in memory and storage. We expect operating expense increases to be weighted to the second half. We expect a fiscal Q4 and fiscal 2026 tax rate of around 15%. Micron continues to invest in a disciplined manner across our global footprint to address customer demand. As a reminder, our CapEx is net of anticipated government incentives. In fiscal Q4, we project CapEx of around $10 billion, bringing full-year fiscal 2026 capital spending to approximately $27 billion. We expect quarterly CapEx in fiscal 2027 to be above fiscal Q4 levels, with more than half the increase year over year in fiscal 2027 from construction CapEx as we pull in clean room capacity required to address long-term demand. We forecast free cash flow to increase substantially again in fiscal Q4. From December 9th, 2026, the second anniversary of the signature of our definitive CHIPS agreements, we intend to increase our capital return. Over time, we expect to return 100% of our excess cash to shareholders. Any impacts that may occur due to trade or geopolitical developments are not included in our guidance. I'll now turn it over to Sanjay to close.
Thank you, Mark. AI has elevated the value of memory. Micron is collaborating closely with our customers and suppliers across technology, product, manufacturing, and commercial teams in this tight industry environment. Strategic customer agreements are ushering in an exciting era for Micron. We expect these SCAs to significantly enhance the durability and predictability of Micron's strong financial performance, accelerating the transformation of our business model. I'm thankful to Micron's team members worldwide, whose relentless focus on execution on all fronts has positioned Micron as a leader in this new AI era, as we continue to advance our mission to accelerate intelligence to enrich life for all. We will now open for questions.
We will now begin the question and answer session. Please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. If you would like to ask a question, please press *1 to raise your hand. To withdraw your question, press *1 again. Your first question comes from the line of Timothy Arcuri with UBS. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Sanjay, so I think we're all trying to figure out how much is locked in kind of a floor price scenario over the next 5 years. And there were two things you said. You said that 14 of the 16 SCAs have $100 billion in cumulative revenue. So that sort of says like $20 billion a year at like a floor price, which is way below the run rate that you just guided. So that says that not that much would be covered at a floor price. But then you also said that 40% of revenue will be moving inside of these SCAs. So can you maybe double click on all that and sort of help us in like a floor price scenario? Can you help us think about how much of revenue per year would be guaranteed?
As we indicated, that under these SCAs that have been completed so far, at the floor price, the revenue is projected to be $100 billion. But again, as Mark noted in his remarks, we expect revenue to be much higher than that. Note that at the floor price, that our profitability levels at the gross margins at the floor prices are higher than peak margins at any time in the past. And so overall, about 20% of DRAM and about 30% of our NAND volume is covered in these SCAs so far. So that amounts to about 25% of our revenue that you can project over the term of these agreements. So again, RPO at the floor price is to be reported as an accounting measure, but we fully expect that the revenue will be much higher than that.
Got it. And then with respect to just how these layer in, Mark, like how much of the August quarter revenue, for example, will be flowing under an SCA? I'm just trying to figure out how to like layer that into the model. And when you get to like a full run rate where like by next fiscal Q4, will you be at sort of a full run rate of, what's being covered, under these SCAs? Can you help us sort of like feather that in?
Yeah, Tim. So you'll see a disclosure in the Q, which will disclose the next 12 months revenue associated with each set of agreements that have an RPO. So, for example, for those that closed within Q3, you'll see an RPO of $5 billion, over $5 billion, and you'll see a next 12 months associated with that of about $1.8 billion. And that is because those are some of the smaller agreements that Sanjay mentioned, automotive agreements. Now, in the fourth quarter, as Sanjay mentioned, you will see an RPO reported, on these 14 of the 16 agreements, that is going to be about $100 billion, and there will be an associated next 12 months associated with those that will be disclosed in the K. So you will be able to see, roughly how these are feathering in, and keep in mind this RPO number it is a minimally contractually enforceable amount for the intersection of volume and price. So you're looking, Tim, at a minimum number, and that's important to keep in mind. And we were clear that it doesn't reflect what we think will happen. And then also each quarter, this RPO number will change. It will change based on contracts that are added in. It may change on additional volume commitments with the determined price. It will change based on shipments and how that RPO is declines after that performance obligation is met. So you'll be getting a lot of additional reporting. This is all under ASC 606. I know it's something that it's not a heavy standard typically in some of our reporting, but this feature of RPO you will see. I also want to emphasize, as Sanjay mentioned, that even at the floor price, and eventually we anticipate about 40% of our revenue being under this sort of RPO related commitments, that even under the floor price, we expect the margins to be significantly above prior peak margins.
Okay. Thank you both.
Your next question comes from the line of Joseph Moore with Morgan Stanley. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
I also wanted to ask about the LTAs. Can you talk about the role of the cash deposit? Should we think of that as being sort of an escrow collateral account where if people cancel, you would have access to cash? Like if it's not revenue, like sort of what is the point of the deposit and what is the relationship of those deposits with the RPO if there is one?
Yeah, Joe, on the deposits. So we mentioned that that we have $22 billion of deposits and financial commitments associated with the agreement signed to date as of this call. 18 billion approximately of that is cash deposits. We'll receive those deposits. We received about 400+ million in the third quarter. We'll receive about another 10 billion in the fourth quarter, and you will these will be seen cash deposits. They'll be seen in financing cash flows. They will not affect free cash flow. They are held by us during the performance commitments of the agreements, and as those agreements are satisfied, those deposits will be returned over time, but heavily weighted to the back half of the agreements. The difference between the 22 billion and the 18, so roughly the 4 billion of others, is letters of credit.
Okay, but what is the role? I mean, what happens to that cash? It seems like they're putting a deposit and then they get the deposit back. What is the reason for them to commit that cash? Is that something where there's a take or pay that cash is related to? It's not a prepayment. Just can you help us understand that?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It's not a prepayment. It's a separate commitment by the customers and a reflection of the fact that we have a binding agreement, and these are take or pay agreements, and we hold the cash, and it's a reflection of our shared commitment to perform under these agreements. Now, this is good for Micron, of course, these agreements, and that we get visibility on our demand. It's committed volume that we can be confident about making our investments, large capital investments, closer technology relationship. It's good for the customers because they have supply assurance, they have leading technology. So in our view, it's a win-win, and very, very happy with the nature of the agreements and the impact they have on the business, and indication of a transformed business model at Micron.
Very helpful. Thanks for all the disclosure on this. It really helps a lot. Thanks.
Your next question comes from the line of CJ Muse with Cantor Fitzgerald. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking the question. Maybe to just follow up on Joe's question, Mark. When you think about these cash deposits, do you view that as fungible cash and used for CapEx? And I guess as part of that, when you contemplate capital returns, particularly after December 14th kind of CHIPS Act end date, will you include kind of that cash that you received in your gross cash thoughts and your thoughts around capital returns, or is that something, given that you will have to return it eventually, that would cause you to think steady state you'll need to hold more gross cash, all else equal?
CJ, it's unrestricted.
But does it change your thoughts around gross cash that you feel comfortable holding on your books?
Not in the near term. I think we of course are going to have what we view as adequate liquidity to support the operation of the business. That would include over time returning the deposits as customers and Micron perform on the contracts. And so that of course is important. And then we would hold liquidity to satisfy what investments we believe are important for the business. We've got a lot of we've got large projects underway to provide supply, and also R&D programs. So and again, I'll emphasize that the customers, as I mentioned earlier, they will get this return deposit back in the latter half of the agreement.
Perfect. And then maybe as a follow-up on HBM revenues, could you kind of share how you're thinking about both your market share and perhaps total revenues into calendar 26? And is there an expectation into calendar 27 that you can bridge margins there closer to what you're getting on D5, or is that a place that will be permanently below that D5 level? Thanks so much.
So with respect to HBM, first of all, very, very pleased with our HBM4 product and Micron's shipments already of HBM4 of over $1 billion. HBM market share, we strategically are choosing it to be close to our DRAM share. And this is important because of the trade ratio of HBM. It consumes, as you know, a significant amount of wafers and puts pressure on non-HBM supply in the industry. So targeting our HBM share close to our DRAM share strategically enables us to supply our diversified end markets, customers across all end markets, data center, consumer, automotive, industrial, the markets that need non-HBM supply. Regarding your question on pricing for next year, we are really not commenting on pricing, but certainly HBM is a product where Micron has a strong leadership position. We have demonstrated tremendous success now with HBM3E 8-high, HBM3E 12-high, and now with HBM4, and a strong roadmap ahead of strong confidence in our ability to execute to that. And it is a higher price product, compared to non-HBM on a per bit basis. And it is a product that is critically important for the entire AI ecosystem from data center to edge. So strategically, it is a very important product for us, and it is a product that does provide strong ROI as well.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Vivek Arya with Bank of America Securities. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question. For the first one, Sanjay, you mentioned, I think, 4 large and 3 medium-sized customer agreements, and I'm curious how many of them are related to the data center. Should we expect more data center-related announcements? And the $100 billion, does that align with the large and medium-sized, or does it align with the smaller size customers? I guess I'm still trying to figure out what is the typical SCA with the data center customer. Like, have you given enough breadcrumbs for us to figure out what a data center SCA looks like over the next few years?
So our large customers include, data center, and the large and medium customers that you mentioned, and of course, including our smaller customers, they do go across data center, consumer, and automotive markets. And we have provided you color on the large agreements have, of course, generally have a ceiling price, have a price band which has a floor as well as a ceiling, and the ceiling is established at the CQ2 price levels. And of course, that CQ2 price levels are reflected in our FQ3 results as well as FQ4 guidance, and they provide for unprecedented levels of profitability. And those price bands also provide for floor prices, where the gross margins are well above the peaks at any past cycle in company's history. And the large agreements that we mentioned, these are multi-year agreements, and they provide us tremendous visibility to demand, customer commitments, and they of course come with the financial commitments, including cash deposits that Mark elaborated on earlier.
Thanks. And for my follow-up, Mark, on gross margins, 86%, does it kind of hang out here for a while? Is there a ceiling? And then as these SCAs start to kick in, should we assume some kind of normalization to between, the mid-80s where you are now versus, I think the prior peak was in the low 60s. So as your long-term investors build their models for 27, 28, etc., should they be assuming a normalized gross margin range somewhere in the mid-70s, right? Kind of the range between where you are today versus the prior peaks. If you could just, hold our hands on how to think about gross margins beyond this 86% in the near term, and then longer term, what is the right way to think about how these gross margins unfold? Thank you.
Yeah. So Vivek, we're not providing guidance beyond the fourth quarter, but we are at margin levels that, as we've talked about before, incremental price yields less in gross margin expansion. So while but having said that, we do see, as we mentioned, we updated our view on market conditions that we expect the market to remain tight beyond 2027. We also have, we're at a point where memory is very much appreciated for the strategic asset that it is, the value that it brings to improving AI intelligence, and more and higher performance memory is needed. And so our continued deployment of bits to data center and edge device higher performance applications is going to be helpful as price moderates and price growth moderates. and we move to optimize the placement of our bits with customers, including those that we do these have done these SCAs with. And then also, as we've talked about, we will get additional volume starting mid-year materially, beginning mid-year 27. It will grow into 28, and we will have some startup costs there, but we will get absorption as those ramps occur, and so over time, we'll get that operating leverage. So I think we feel great about the trajectory of the business, Micron's technology position, world-class product portfolio. You can see we're operating very well, and all those are supportive of continuing to deliver a strong financial performance.
Thank you.
Your final question comes from the line of Krish Sankar with TD Cowen. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, thanks for taking my question. I have two of them, Sanjay or Mark. Congrats on the great results. On the floor pricing for the LTAs, you said about the prior peak. Your prior peak gross margin was somewhere in the low 60-62% range. If I try to plug in what a 64 gigabyte server DRAM is, I can get like a $700 price for it compared to $1,500 today, which kind of puts you at like $10 to $12 a gigabyte as the floor and a mid-$20 a gigabyte for the current price. Is that the range we should think about for these LTAs, i.e. low teens to mid-20s dollars a gigabyte is kind of like the range of LTAs for the pricing?
So, Krish, we're not going to get into specific pricing discussions, but I just want to note again that I said that the gross margins at the floor will be well beyond the peaks that we experienced, the highs that we experienced in the past cycle. So well beyond those, right? But we are not going to obviously get into the specifics related to the pricing. Bottom line is, these SCAs really help provide visibility, strength, and durability of demand for us. And they absolutely fundamentally accelerate our financial performance and the business transformation here.
Got it. Very helpful, Sanjay. And just a quick follow-up. You kind of mentioned how DRAM bits should grow low to mid-20s, NAND probably in the 20% range this year. And clearly, we are undersupplied on both. Is there a way to quantify what happens in 2027? Is there a way to say, is the undersupply going to be double what it is this year in 2027? Or how to think about the supply-demand imbalance in 2027?
We see 2027 overall tight. We have said we see tightness continuing beyond 2027. Working hard to bring up a supply, but we have shared with you that it takes a long time to bring up the additional capacity that is needed to support the customer demands, the additional wafer capacity, and of course, technology transitions and the less bit gain that they give per node, as well as the HBM trade ratio put tremendous pressure on the overall supply growth as well. So supply, even in 2028, when supply begins to improve gradually, we see that the demand will continue to be on a robust trajectory as well, because these AI trends are very long-term trends. AI is still in very, very early innings. The whole token economics needs more memory. AI system performance is really very much limited by memory capacity and memory performance, memory bandwidth. So, the demand for memory is, as the compute demand grows and our customers look at a tremendous transformation opportunity that is ahead of them, and continue to make investments like they have never made before to build this infrastructure. The demand trajectory is extremely strong. Memory is at the center of it and is a strategic asset, and access to memory supply is obviously a critical priority, as you can see in the multi-year agreements that our customers have concluded with us. I mean, those agreements reflect the confidence in the growth of the demand. So we are working hard to bring up supply, but we see tightness persisting beyond 2027.
Thanks a lot, Sanjay. Really appreciate it.
This concludes today's call. Thank you for attending. You may now disconnect.
Thank you for your permission to disconnect. Okay. Lot of thoughts, everybody. Lot of thoughts. By the way, is anybody seeing this Brazilian psychic with over 24 million followers predicting a mass alien invasion during the Brazil and Scotland World Cup game tonight? Anybody? I cannot believe it. I was looking to see if Michael Burry posted anything. I'm not kidding you. I'm not trolling you. I was looking to see if there was. I'm serious. I was looking to see if Cassandra Unchained posted anything, and this is in my feed. The FAA has just issued an official airspace restriction for tonight's Scotland versus Brazil match due to reports of unusual aerial activity in the region. Craziness. We got craziness, ladies and gentlemen. Craziness. Amit was on a UFO. Oh, God. All right. Sometimes I hate analysts, by the way. Sometimes I really hate analysts. I feel like they really tried tripping them up. But you know what? Micron is at 1182, ladies and gentlemen. The AI revolution is healthy. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. But the big highlights of the call are that we need so much more memory, and they are signing agreements with many companies for 3 to 5 year terms. Automotive is 3 year and non-automotive is 5 years. When you put this together with what we are seeing, Microsoft going to GE Vernova, buying 7 turbines, inking a 20-year contract with Chevron. We see Alphabet raising equity and saying that 2027 is going to be a massive build-out year, way bigger than this year's $120 billion. All roads lead back to CapEx. All roads lead back to spending on chips. We saw it earlier today with Huck Tan and OpenAI saying that their collaboration is accredited to everything else. It is not taking away from GPUs. It is not taken away from it. You guys made me crack up. You guys are the best chat on YouTube. I swear to God. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. I can't say Hawk 10 anymore. You guys are, oh my God. I swear you guys are hilarious. Jack, thank you very much. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse Investing. Principal Stephen Fiorillo, milking the market for amazing returns. I actually like that. We may have to take that under consideration. I actually like that a lot. Thank you. Look, it's not a hard premise to wrap our brains around. The bears hate profits. The bears, the only thing that they can talk about is CapEx. But you know what CapEx does? It allows cash from operations to grow. I don't care if these companies spend for 2 or 3 years. This is a long-term game. And you know what? Micron is slaughtering earnings. NVIDIA is slaughtering earnings. These companies, Meta's grown by 33%. Microsoft is slaughtering earnings. Do we really think the bears are correct? Or do we think all of the CEOs of the greatest companies are correct? I'm telling you, I think that the bears are losers. We are correct. And we'll see. Now, Gene Munster was on Bloomberg. I have no idea what he said. I would like to hear what he said. It's a very short clip. I'm going to play it. Sometimes those earnings calls get annoying. I want to hear what Gene Munster said.
Shares have been on fire year to date. These results did arrive in a moment where the market has been a little bit stressed over the AI trade and sort of the sustainability of some of these figures. When you take a look at what we learned from Micron about 20 minutes ago, what does this tell you in terms of a temperature check?
I mean, I think it tells us that we're earlier than most expect. And my sense is a year ago.
Oh, giddy up. Earlier than we expect. Remember who said it first? We're not even at the dinner. We're not even at the bar. We may be just getting into the car. Dan Ives used to say that it was 9 p.m. for the 4 a.m. party. I'm saying it's 6 p.m. We haven't even got to the bar yet. We're early. We are early.
We were in the third inning of this AI build out. I now think we're in the second inning.
Oh, Gene Munster. Let's go.
And specifically, if you look at that revenue guide that they gave, that 300 and call it 40% revenue growth for the August quarter, that compares to 300 and just under 370% that they just reported in the May quarter. And that just shows you the sustainability to grow, continue to grow at these rates in the face of the law of large numbers is remarkable. And I think just to kind of quickly pull this forward to, this is really the substance of the earnings tonight is what does this mean for the AI trade? And I want to put some specifics around it. The hyperscalers, as Matt mentioned in the previous segment, account for about 50% of Micron's revenue. The hyperscalers for next year, the street is expecting them to grow their CapEx, which is really a proxy for all the infrastructure build, by 22%. Now that compares
22%. How about this? That's going to be light. I think that's going to be light, ladies and gentlemen.
To what will be up about 80% in calendar 26. Now, interestingly, a few weeks ago, that number for next year was 15%. So we've seen that inch up. But effectively, what we've seen tonight, and this is kind of the punchline, Katie, of your question, is that the street is starting to get more comfortable at growth rates for the hyperscalers and the broader CapEx of 40% plus. And what that means is that these companies are going to continue to grow faster for longer than most investors expect. And despite all this skittishness within the market, this is just just a resounding endorsement that we are, in fact, earlier than most believe in the build-out.
Well, you're hitting on something that I've been wondering about, that, perhaps we're getting spoiled by some of these numbers here, because you think about Micron in the most recent quarter reporting a 4-fold increase in revenue in the latest quarter. But then you take a look at revenue growth, what it's projected to be in fiscal 2027, growth of 76%, and then 7% in 2028. You could make the case, if you were feeling a little bit bearish, that maybe we are starting to see peak earnings.
Well, I would kind of take that and build on that. And I think that the case is, are investors ever going to get comfortable that we are, in fact, going to continue to grow faster for longer? Said another way is that if the market just continues to take these impressive blowouts and these impressive guides as an indication that we're going to see some material deceleration next quarter, if that kind of fear that we're always going to see a deceleration if it happens to be 27 or 28, if that just continues to persist, then it's very difficult for the multiple on some of these companies to go up. We've, of course, seen that with NVIDIA. NVIDIA's numbers 3 months ago, the street was expecting mid 20% growth. They're now expecting 40% growth for calendar 27. So it's gone up materially. But the stock over the last month has underperformed the NASDAQ down 8% versus the NASDAQ down about 5%. And so I think that to me is the there's the size of this build out. And I think some of these companies that have gone up so significantly, I do believe that some of those will become more challenged to continue to grow.
So, I mean, the Micron story is interesting, and obviously whatever's going on with the Vera Rubin and its partnership with NVIDIA. But I do want to talk about just how this whole trade, the chip trade specifically, is broadening out.
We have a special person calling. Matt Money, you are live on the market close.
Steven,
Matt Money.
what's it like to be the future of the market close?
The people want to know, okay? They want to know what it feels like to take Micron first. Did you see what Micron is doing right
Steven, I wake up and I piss excellence.
Oh!
To tell to these people.
Well, you know what the chat is saying right now?
What's that?
They're calling you Matty Micron.
Shit. I mean, I'm curious to see how my calls look tomorrow morning. We'll see. We'll have to see.
Well, you also took Micron in the draft, and you know what? Micron's up 130 points right now.
I mean, in the draft?
Didn't you take Micron first in the draft?
Yeah, but like it calculates it after hours too.
Well, no, but I'm just saying tomorrow you're going to be sin pretty.
Stevie, you put in those extra tokens to get that after hour.
Listen, it's all about the APIs. What are you doing? You coming on the market close? What are you doing?
I'm discussing business. I'm about to get off an exit in 3/4 of a mile, have a beer, and discuss business opportunities, Steven.
You know, that short for Matt's better than us, everybody. That's why he didn't show up. He's going out to have beers and talk business.
I mean, I love you guys. I also talk about off market deals with you guys when we have the opportunity as well. But sometimes you gotta keep it alive. You know.
How come I don't get invitations to these opportunities?
Well, I don't even know what the opportunity is yet.
Okay.
I have an inkling.
So you are on a fact-finding mission.
At the moment, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a loan. I don't know if it's equity. I don't know what it is.
All right.
I'll keep you apprised, Stephen, as I always do.
Let me know.
How do you feel about Micron? Do you think that with this, do you think we're going to see a little bit more confidence come back into the market? Do you think that with Micron goes the market, or do you think, I don't know what everything else is doing after hours. I don't know if we're seeing some strengthening after hours, or if we're continuing to see the bloodbath that we started to see earlier today.
We are seeing strength. AMD's at 537. Lena, 537, Lena. AMD. We got Qualcomm at 221. Marvell, 288. Broadcom is 389. Uber, 73.73. I think Matt lost us. Matt, you here?
Yes.
All right. NVIDIA is back to 200. We're getting some strength. Look, here's my feelings at the moment, Matt. Micron just told all the bears to go fuck themselves. Okay. Micron just said, hold my report, look at my earnings and EPS, and look at the forward guidance. We just entered the slaughterhouse of earnings. Micron just said the AI revolution is not stopping. We're signing agreements with many customers for 5 years, and the supply is going to run for a very long time. Once again, the bears want to hang their caps on CapEx because they don't know how to read long-term trends on a cash flow statement. They're fucking stupid. Okay.
Steven, did they say reach me, baby? Call my phone if you need me, baby.
You know, they did not say that. They did not say that. But look,
Maybe they will. Maybe they'll start.
the Bears do not want progress. The Bears do not understand innovation. And they certainly don't understand that you need to actually spend capital to build things. But these companies have a long-term track record of monetizing the CapEx into cash from operations. We don't need free cash flow to be off the charts indefinitely. We can spare a couple of years in order to maximize the future. And technology never goes backwards. It always expands. It always goes forward. Micron just proved the point once again. I cannot wait for Q2 earnings from the market. We're rolling into 4th of July weekend. We're rolling into 4th of July weekend with oil at 70, hopefully, or lower. It's not this weekend, it's next weekend. And the reality is that PPI and CPI can cool. What are the Bears going to do if I'm right and the Fed decides to get a little dovish at the end of the summer? And what happens if they start to cut rates at the end of the year? What happens? Are we going to say, no, this is unwarranted? Like, I don't understand how you are not you, but I don't understand how the Bears are not bullish the American economy. I don't get it.
They're shook babies, Steven. I don't know.
The Bears are shook babies. I may use that for my next article. The Bears are shook babies.
Somebody picked them up out of the crib and shook them.
You know what? Or maybe they took the pacifier out of their mouths and it's allowing them to speak.
Steve, I think you're onto something.
I mean, you know what? Maybe I should buy a case of pacifiers and send them to Michael Burry. Maybe I should do that.
You will, Steve.
Well, I don't exactly have his address.
Maybe you should ask.
Maybe I should ask. If anybody can find me Michael Burry's address, I will send him pacifiers. FYI.
Steve, maybe you should have asked.
I mean, you know, we could. Anyway, I think that we're bullish. I think we roll forward. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Micron's up a lot. I'm sure that there's going to be people saying, blah, blah, blah. This is bad. CapEx. Oh, my God. Supply is tight. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about.
They never did, Steve.
They never did. They never did.
But anyway, you're the man. And I'm going to go and I'll let you know and keep you apprised if there's any crazy.
Holy cow. Hold on. I will do it. I will send them pacifiers. They got me psych. I thought Psychon Asset Management I thought he closed up shop. All right. Whatever. We'll do it. I will do it. I'm a man of my word. I will do it. I'm going to order some off of Amazon and I will send them to him.
Will you send me one?
I mean, if you want one, I'll send you one.
Anything that keeps me in touch with you, Steve.
So, Maddie, you are a good role model. We will see you later.
You're the man, dude. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, later.
Later, bye.
All right. Micron just saved the market. I thought it was NVIDIA that saved the market. Then I thought it was Broadcom that saved the market. Micron saved the market. Now, what this means for tomorrow, I don't know. I'm just hoping there's no alien invasion tonight. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's no alien invasion. I got my milk ready. We're going to transition from coffee to milk in a little bit. I'm going to go for a little walk. I am so bullish. I can't say it. I can't. I was about to say we're going to 8,300 on the S&P. I'm not going to do it. We're keeping 8,000 on the S&P for a little bit. But this is what we're here for. And the Bears are going to be out in full force. I will be monitoring the situation for the Bears. I want to see what the Bear logic is on this report, because there was not a damn thing bearish. Not a damn thing bearish. Certainly not what Hawk Tan said earlier today. No. Is Tanner done streaming? If Tanner's done streaming, I'll call him. I'm not going to call him if he's streaming. Hold on. Tanner. Yeah, he's done. Hold on a second.
Hey, what's up?
Everybody wants to know if you can come on for 5 minutes
Well, come on for what?
to talk about Micron saving the market, the Bears getting obliterated, and Hawk Tan and OpenAI with their new chip.
I don't think I will be able to. It's unbelievable. Really exciting quarter. Another blowout. I think it's going to happen again next quarter. But that being said, I got to record a video about it right now. So, yeah, I'll be a little bit busy. Hopefully we can get on a stream or something tomorrow if you have some time.
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, I thought we were streaming tomorrow night.
Yeah, if that works, then yes.
Yes, tomorrow night. But you thought that this quarter was a blowout, correct?
Yes, oh yeah, it's a blowout.
I did not see a single thing bearish in this quarter.
No. There was a lot of talk about the long-term agreements, which, we'll have to go through, but I'm sure a lot of analysts will be reporting and upgrading like crazy over the next week. I mean, it's going to be a flurry of upgrades.
Woo!
If you thought like the 180 plus EPSs over the last little bit were high, wait till you see the 200 plus targets that people are going to start readjusting to.
People are saying Chris is bearish. Are you kidding me? What the hell did Chris put out that people are saying Chris is bearish? They're telling me to look at X. Oh my God.
Check that. I will let you go.
Later.
Bye.
What are you guys telling me? Chris is bearish? Don't tell me that. Don't do that. Oh my God. What is he doing? What is Chris doing? I don't even know what to say. I'm calling Tanner back. I'm bugging Tanner. Hold on.
So
I just have to read you this.
Yeah.
Chris is legitimately bearish. This is what he just wrote. Micron next year growth rate will be 72%. Then after that, 5.6%. If you're buying today, you're buying a business that is going to slow down by a lot in the next 2 years. The market is forward looking. Micron isn't a growth company. They're a cyclical business that near peak growth rate. The air pocket between growth to value compresses multiples. Share repurchases can keep the stock up for a time being, but longer term, this thing will come down a lot. Just can't tell you when that is. Keep dancing, but listen for the music slowing. The upside from here is like 10 to 20%. The downside is 80% or lower in the future.
Here's 80% or low. That's funny. Here's what I'd say to him. The forward PE based on today's numbers is like 5 times. Like it's so unbelievably low that people are fully aware. I don't even think he's wrong that growth will slow down. But if you can hold up similar numbers, so not growth, just same similar EPS numbers, it pays for itself in a matter of a couple of years. Okay, let alone the fact that we're going to get another 70+% growth next year. You're talking about buying this company of like a 2-year forward PE of like what is that? 3.5 times, 3 times, something like this. Like that's priced into what people are believing. You're not paying Palantir level prices for Micron here. While I agree with him that it's going to fall off, that's what the market is. Everyone sees that.
No, revenue growth is 100% going to slow down after next year. I mean, it would be very hard for them to put up another 70% after 70%. But does it slow to 5%? I have no idea. Does it slow to 20%? I don't think it matters. As long as it doesn't decrease, it shouldn't matter.
Hey, Chris said the CapEx cycle would stop in 2025. He said 2026 would be the height. He said 2027 is going to be the height. I mean, no one knows where artificial intelligence spend stops, and no one knows when the bottleneck for Micron is going, or for memory is going to stop either. Okay? We're all trying to call something that we know so little about. Right now, they're doing well. I'm going to continue to be a shareholder. We'll see what happens next.
I'm super bullish, Micron. They just saved the AI revolution. I will talk to you later.
Thanks, brother.
Later.
Talk later.
Look, I love Chris, but I mean, 80% lower in the future. I've said it before. I don't think that this is the same type of boom bust cycle as it used to be with DRAM. I really don't. Yes, I do believe growth rate is going to slow down in 28, but that really shouldn't matter. I need to see what the new projections are on the growth rates. You don't sign all these deals to have revenue decline. I disagree. I disagree with this completely. I mean, if upside from here, when he put this out, Micron was 1048. So we just got the upside in after hours. I mean, Chris and I are going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to talk about this. I'm going to try to get Chris on tomorrow on the market open, is what I'm going to try to do. I will try to get Chris on the market open tomorrow so him and I can dissect it. Right now, I'm in a bullish mode. I'm excited, and I'm ready for the future. If you're in Micron, congratulations. This is absolutely super bullish for the AI revolution. Absolutely bullish. Oh, man. So excited. Thoughts on Qualcomm? I'm a big fan of Qualcomm. I'm worried about growth rates, but I think it can accelerate into the future. We'll see. Let's see. Man. Let's get a roll call. Before we end it out, almost 6 o'clock. Let's see where we're finishing out everything. And I still got work to do, ladies and gentlemen. I got to try to write 1 or 2 articles tonight. And I'm shooting something with somebody that we're going to keep a surprise. Micron 1190, it's up 13.2%. Qualcomm is up $19, AMD 18, ARM 16. Where's my NVIDIA? 249. Okay. All right. SoFi 1750. Bitcoin 61,000. Not good. Absolutely not good. Rocket Lab 86. Oracle under 160. I do not like that, but I want to buy it. Reddit 161.90. I need that to come back a little bit. Palantir is still full and it's 113.25. Oh man, what a great day. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to end it out here. I have a few things I got to get done tonight. I will be back tomorrow. Let me look at my schedule. I got my schedule of when Amit is going to be not streaming so I can entertain all of you. Tomorrow, I will do the open and the close. Amit will be back with you on Friday morning, and then I will do the close on Friday afternoon. So, tomorrow, 8:45 a.m., I will open the market. Can't wait. I'm going to send the bat signal out to Chris. Try to get him on for the market open tomorrow. Talk about Micron, talk about all things AI. I will do the close tomorrow. And you know what? It's going to be exciting. You guys are the best. The Milk Gang rocks. Thank you so much. I can't thank all of you enough. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the stream, do me a favor. Like and subscribe. Please. At least subscribe to the channel if you liked it and leave me comments. Let me know what type of videos you want me to do. I'm happy to put videos together for all of you. Thank you so much. I really can't thank the Milk Gang and everybody who continues to support me enough. You guys are why I do this. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night. Go get some medium rare steaks. Go have a coffee. Drink your water. Get your steps in so the step police doesn't come after you. And I will see all of you later. Tomorrow morning, 8:45, Cactus Jack, you're a legend. Thank you for all you do for the community. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the evening.